Hey, honey.
Hola, cariño.
Hey, honey.
Hola, cariño.
Hey, honey.
Hola, cariño.
Hey, honey.
Hey, honeys. Hola, cariños. Yo espero que tú están bien. Y'all, listen, I don't know what y'all doing, but I know what I'm doing, okay? Right now, I am going live on YouTube and Facebook, my Strokes of Freedom Facebook and my personal Facebook, because y'all don't really be trying to like vibe with your girl on her Strokes of Freedom Facebook. So I was like, let me just, make sure y'all still know what I'm doing and where I'm at. Make sure that you all are, hey, honey. Hey, Amy, honey. Y'all, I'm excited about today, okay? I'm ready. I'm eager. And y'all know, okay? Let me tell y'all this. For y'all, who maybe don't know, I am nobody's mother and I am nobody's wife, honey, okay? It don't matter what order you put them in. That's not where I'm at. Now, I will be one day on the wife's side, but not the mother's side. But it's not about me today, okay? It's about y'all. It's about y'all getting more tools and more visual, I guess, getting a visual, right? Of someone who is a wife and a mom and seeing where your story may align with hers, seeing where you have had this one idea of a mom or a wife in your mind, and then reality showed up and it kicked you in the face. I mean, like, kapow, okay? So what we're going to do today, y'all, as you all are coming in, just give me a little hey, honey, a little hola, cariños, whatever you all are most comfortable with. But this is super interactive, super engaging. It will be more interview style for our Marriage, Me, and Motherhood show today. And what that essentially means is that I'll be asking Casey, our wonderful guest, I'll be asking her a few different questions, but our conversation is not limited to the two of us. You all are very much included in this dialogue. And so I want for you all to tune in, to engage, be it on YouTube, be it on Facebook, and just really connect. Your conversation is our conversation, and our conversation is your conversation, or whatever. So, but what we're going to be doing today, you guys, again, the topic and title being Marriage, Me, and Motherhood. One thing I do know, even without me playing those particular roles or being in those roles, is that being a wife is a world in and of itself, and being a mother is a world. And with those two big, beautiful, and exciting worlds, sometimes as a person, you maybe get a little displaced in that. And so that's the goal for our conversation. The theme is to just share what Casey's journey has been like and how Casey makes time for Casey in the middle of those two big, beautiful worlds. And so, again, make sure you all are engaging with us. Share it if you want to share it, honey. And I mean, if you don't, that's fine too, because who am I? I can't make you. But you all, without further ado, we are going to bring in Miss Casey Tucker. Hey,
What's
honey.
up, boo? Hey, honey.
Hola, querida. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so good. I'm so excited to be here. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I'm glad. Well, you look good, honey.
Thank you. So I'm like,
Don't hurt people, okay? You already married.
No,
honey.
thank you, child. Thank you.
I love it. Well, Casey, we're going to jump right on in. I always love for anyone that I'm sharing space with just to share more about themselves.
Okay.
It can be as little or as much as you want to share, but just letting our audience know who Casey Tucker is.
All right. Who is Casey Tucker? I am Casey Tucker. Nice to meet you, right? And so I am a wife. I am a mother. I have 3 children, 3 beautiful daughters. Ages 8, 6, and 2. So they are young little ladies. And so I am also learning still too. I'm a wife, about to hit 10 years in that game. Super excited about that. I really love my husband. I really like my husband. I really love my children, and I really like my children most days. Amen. But yeah, other than that, like I'm a student, I'm a woman, I am I'm a worker, and I think that there are some more things about me that are still coming together because life is evolving. We're always changing.
Absolutely.
We are always learning new things about ourselves. So I'll even throw some things out there that I would like to become, like a writer or a creative person or whatever they call. They have names. What do they call it? Creatives? Yeah,
Well,
I
the
want to be
thing
one
is,
of
you're
those.
already those things.
Yeah,
You don't
right.
need
And
those things.
so very true. So these are just some titles I would like to add as well. So
Yeah.
yes, I would like to say I'm just a ball of things. And so yeah, but today y'all get to talk to me. There's mostly a wife and a mother and myself.
Yes. Oh, I love it, honey. Yes. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna jump in with our first question. So you all, as I mentioned, this is very much like interview Q&A style, but you all are very much a part of the conversation. So we'll be pulling questions from the audience throughout our live, and then even towards the end, we set aside some time to make sure that any questions or comments that you all wanted to share are also highlighted. So but the first question, Casey, let's see. When it comes to being a wife, what are 3 distinct differences from your first year of marriage to now, to your current year of almost 10 years? And you can also share any similarities that you've noticed.
Okay, so this one takes some thinking. So I guess right off the top, some differences: easy time that you have, freedom, and responsibility. That's real easy. In the beginning, you just have time almost to waste, if that makes sense. Like you have the time to sit down and take a nap. You have the time to be able to have a conversation or, make a phone call, things of that nature. The responsibility level changes completely. In the beginning, it's you and me, and it's like in the beginning, you're so new to it. Yes, I love you, but we're not so stuck that like I honestly, just to be honest, I don't feel 100% responsible for you yet, because that comes with time, like it does. And this is just my story. Somebody else might be like, no, that ain't what it was. But like seriously, like in the beginning, like we're so like you take care of you over here, and I take care of me, and then we'll come together when we need to. But even as time goes, of course, you add children that you become responsible for. But then you start feeling like, okay, I have to make sure I'm okay so that he can be okay, or vice versa. Make sure my money is good so I don't mess up his money and things like that. So you gain different levels of responsibility. Like I said, freedom, just being able to up and go. That's self-explanatory. So that's the biggest thing. I can up and go. Right. I had freedom to go to the bathroom by myself. Now I got locked doors. You know what I'm saying? It's like so things of that nature. Those are some of the things that are different completely. But some similarities, I will say. Like I said in the beginning, I still like my husband.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't say that. Do I always like him? I want to say I did for like a good strong maybe 7 years. I did like him for the most part. And year 7 hit, and I was starting to look at him like, it's not a good day for us, But even going through that was a whole journey in itself that I needed. And it freed me in a lot of areas. But yes, like on a regular day and most times, I definitely still like my husband. So because of that, we're still friends first. Because that's how we started. We met, we were friends, and so that's the kind of stuff that's still the same. We still laugh together. We still joke people together. Amen. It's so good. And things like that. And so the fun of it, the love. So the love is different because yes, you love them in the beginning, but it literally grows. Like it goes to different levels as you go through life together. Yeah. Because you find that you're actually with the person that can feel what you're going through on a day-to-day basis because they're there to see it all. Yeah. What I say? I think I said 3 things: love, fun, and laughter.
Child, whether it was 3 or not, it was great. I loved it. Because one thing I have noticed, and I think even from maybe the very first interaction that we all had, which was a good couple years ago, but it's like, oh, they like each other. Like you all like literally, you kind of like bounce off of one another, which is hilarious to watch. But it's really like, oh, they're great friends. They really do like have friendship at their core, which I think is awesome. And a lot of people do miss that particular element. So I think that's really, really awesome.
It's
awesome. Okay, listen, we're gonna roll right into a little let me see, what do we want to do next? I'm going to, oh, here we go. So I love this particular question. You all can see the question, of course, at the bottom, but I love this question because a lot of people don't realize that when you choose, right, because it is a choice, when you choose to get married, you're taking all of your life experience and your partner's bringing all of their life experience and you're merging those worlds together. And so unless you've had those conversations about what their upbringing was like and what marriages they witnessed and all of that, that tends to come up more so like in marriage. And so what I love about this question is you get to share your best example of what being a wife or a mom was like and how that plays a role into your marriage, and even what was a not so great example and whether or not you saw some of those things leak into your marriage as well.
Okay. So this one, like I said, you so deep. All your questions just require like, there's no yes or no, there's no right or wrong. There's really not even a real straightforward answer.
No, at all.
So when it comes to the example, of course, most girls, and I'll say most because not all have this story. Most girls, they start with looking at their mom. Mm-hmm. And so I did that. My mother was like, I remember being a kid and having stress about like, I'm not going to be able to be a mom like she is. Mm. And I mean, that shows you what kind of child I was. Who thinks like that at 6, 7, 8 years old? I used to just lay in the bed at night and be like, how am I going to show up for my kids the way she does? Like, simple things like the way she would wake us up in the morning. She would come in, and just tickle us. And that's how you start the day. I'm going to tickle you, wake up laughing, which is why to this day I have a problem when my husband comes in the room and is like, hey, get up. No, you need to tickle me because my mother, she tickled me. So if you want me to wake up in a happy space, wake me up laughing or smiling, right? So little things like that. Like, so those are the things I held on to. One of the biggest things that she's taught me and my sisters is it's not what you say, but how you say it. Yeah. And like to this day, I always keep that in mind when I'm trying to communicate to people what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling. And in the controlling side of me, a lot of times tells people, well, just say this or just say that. But then I have to pause and say, well, no, because that coming from me is different from the way it will come from you. Absolutely. And so I always keep those kinds of things in mind. Now, another thing that my mom did that helped us, that would fall to the not so great example. Mm-hmm. She was very open about the mistakes that she's made in her life. And she was very responsible about when to share it. Like, it wasn't like she threw it on us at the age of 5. Like, listen, this is what I did. Don't do it. Like, she made sure we were of age and gave us what we needed to know. And like, okay, this is what I did. Please don't go this route. If you take this route, this is what you could have to deal with. And then I was fortunate enough, like you said in the beginning, when you get married, you're merging lifestyles or whatever. So a lot of kids don't get to see that in their parents. You're born into it and you're like, okay, whatever. So my mom, she actually got married to my stepfather when I was 4, 5. Okay. So I got to witness the blending of families for a moment. Mm-hmm. The marriage didn't, I mean, they went a good long time, but they're not together anymore. But there was so much even from that relationship that I was able to see and to witness and say, okay, this is what I want to put in my marriage. This is not what I want to put in my marriage. This is what I want in my husband, but this is not what I want in my husband. Mm. And so all of that to say, when it comes to examples, at the core, it's my mother. Mm. But over the years, I have looked at several women. I'm a thief. I steal stuff. Like, if I see a woman or a mother who's doing something and I like it, I'm gonna take it. Like, and so if I feel like, okay, I want my marriage to look like that in that area, I'm gonna take that. But if I see something, I'm like, no, I'm gonna try not to do that. I'm gonna stay away from there. And so I take, and I mean, it comes from everywhere. It could be the lady in Walmart, or it could be the person on TV. I'm gonna take it if I like it. And so to anybody that I've stolen from, thank you. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's been so many people that don't even realize they've been the one. And it could be something that they say in a regular conversation. I'm like, okay. Even if I look like I'm not listening, I probably took that and kept it and used it. And being a wife or a mother, depending on what it is. So yeah, there's examples everywhere.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. There are some people who may go into something thinking they know all of the things. And with each of those roles, it's kind of like starting a new job. When you go in, you don't you may know the gist of what is, what needs to be accomplished, but you don't know the day in and day out. And so there's manuals and all of that, which of course we don't have manuals for being a wife and a mother per se, but I think people have to be open to the idea that other people can influence in a great way your marriage or your motherhood. So awesome. Let's see here. I'll give you something light. Okay. The other one, I think. Let me make sure before I say that. Well, this one could be a fun one. Okay. So as a mother and a wife, how does Casey know when you need time away or like for or with yourself? And then what does that normally look like? So what is normally taking place? And you like, you know what? It's about that time.
The problem with me is I don't know it until it's beyond time. By the time I learn that I need some time away, I'm already snapping.
Yeah.
I'm already fussing at everybody over anything. Like nobody's safe. Like the kids could just be being kids, but that's a problem for me today because I'm tired. You know what I mean? And I'm a little exhausted. Or, maybe my husband ain't pick up what I thought he should know that I wanted in the store because I ain't tell him.
You didn't say anything, of course not.
But
he's supposed to know.
Today you should have known that because you've been with me for so long. Why wouldn't you get me a Twix? You don't think I look like I need something? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so when I get to that place, it's like, all right, sis, you tripping. It's time. Take a break. And it's funny though because when I was thinking about this, I'm like, the reality is, and I love my children, but most of the time, I just need a break from being a mom for a second.
Right.
I don't really have a lot of moments where I need a break from my husband because we recharge each other. So because we take the away time that we do have because we work separate shifts, and that is kind of like our away time. Yes, we're not alone, but we're not together. And when we do come together, that's when our minds are, when our creative stuff comes together the best, we're able to bounce off of each other. That's when the wisdom can bounce off of each other. If somebody's here, somebody can be here, bring them back down, and vice versa. If somebody's down, the other one can bring them back up. So we literally come together, we regroup, we recharge, and then we can go again to fight another day. Now the problem comes when both of us are low at the same time, and let's take your kid. No, you take your kid. Okay, so we need to walk away for a minute. But and that sounds horrible. Like I know, but it's a real thing. Like I absolutely love my children. That's no question. But kids are kids. They're here to learn from you and to grow from you. So you're constantly giving to them. Yeah. And so if I'm gonna keep giving, once I start spewing and giving stuff that I don't want you to necessarily have, stuff that I gotta go to bed at night, Lord, let them forget that part of the day today. Then it's like I need to go somewhere and sit down.
Yeah. Well, I think I want to kind of I think people's default whenever they say, "Oh, I know it sounds horrible to want time away from the kids." Why does that have to sound horrible? Why can't it just be factual? Yeah. Why can't it just be true? Like, you know what? I think there's this idea that motherhood is going to be exciting all the time, and you're going to want to be with your children all day, every day. But the reality, for those of you all who are living it, and honey, baby, tell me y'all in the comments, honey, because I know I done babysat a lot of y'all's kids, and I want some time away too.
You ready to go? All right.
Listen, I have loved on probably everybody's child here in this conversation, and I take great joy in it. But I also love that when parents gift themselves with respite or with a retreat of some sort, because the reality is, and I was telling someone this the other day, for a majority of you all, you have been you were yourself for longer than you've been a mother. Now, my mother has been a mother for longer than she's been herself. She started having children at 18. She'll be 60 next month. Thanks be unto the good Lord, honey.
Hey. Go ahead.
I'm excited about that. But she had 18 years of life that I knew nothing about. And so I'm in the phase now where I'm asking her questions like, okay, well, before you had children, like, what was life like? Tell me your story. But in that, she has never felt horrible about taking time away for herself. You're raising 6 children, where there's 1, where there's 2, where there's 8, where there's 6. You're raising little people who constantly need. And so I think as people, as humans, as women, I love us being able to navigate away from, I know it sounds horrible, when it's like, no, you know what? It's necessary and it's realistic that I need time away from my children, from these little people who want everything I have.
Absolutely.
Follow me into the bathroom. They forget how to tie their shoes. You've been tying your shoes for 2 years. How did you forget how to tie your shoes?
But no, let me tell you when it gets me. My sis, okay, my aunt Genesis, she comes home. Mama, keep tying my shoe. I just don't feel like it. But wait, but you can? So yeah, well, because I've been tying, I've been tying shoes all day. That's what she tells me. Whose shoes you tying? I've been at school helping my friends who don't know how to tie their shoes. So it's my responsibility to.
Of course. Who else?
Just nonsense. Nonsense.
Who else?
Yes, nah. It'd be stuff like that. I'm like, in my face. Get out.
If you know what's best, you will get out of my face.
Just silly stuff. Like, yeah.
And kids will be kids.
Yeah.
Oh, not Crystal asked me if I still babysit. Crystal, honey, I don't. That's not why I'm here today.
But let me know that. Yeah, amen.
Anyway, so whenever you do decide to, there is 2 parts. When you do decide to take time away, what do you normally do? Like how does Casey recharge apart from husband and kids? What does Casey do to realign or to rebalance?
Okay, so for just Casey, honestly, it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. Like literally, it could be a day of take the kids for a few hours and just leave me home. Leave me at the house. Give me some good music, some quiet time, a good cup of coffee or tea, depending on how I'm feeling that day, because I do both. I might journal, which I've just recently gotten back into. I was such a journaler before kids. Yeah. And then even when I first had them, I had time, but somewhere between 2 and 3, I ran out of time. I don't know. And so I've gotten back to journaling. I've gotten back to just taking time for myself. And literally, like, I've been literally working lately to reignite my lifestyle of worship. Yes. I don't want to have to get to a place of calling on God when I need him. And I don't want to have to wait for him to show up. Like, I need you to just be there. Like, I don't want to in trouble and on the floor snotting everywhere for you to show up. I need to be like, okay, Lord, do it. And you already on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to get back to that place because I did. I got to a place where I lost it. I didn't permit time for it. And so it just takes a few hours for me to just get it together, maybe a day or 2. And to know that I've planned it out when I have something to look forward to. Yeah. I'm amazing. Because you know what?
I'm gonna be gone.
Y'all can scream today because tomorrow y'all are leaving. I'm gonna be able to take I'm gonna watch me some shows. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. And what's funny is for as much as I love food, when I have those moments where I'm alone, I barely eat because I'm so caught up in just doing what I gotta do. I know that sounds like a lot because I do love food, but I promise you, I forget to eat sometimes because it's just that good of a moment.
Yeah, you're feeding yourself differently.
I'm feeding myself, and that's really good because that's what's happening. Because I'm like, no, it's 2:00. I ain't ate nothing today. It's crazy. Now, when it comes time where I need to, get away with my spouse, that's a whole different thing. Like, you set yourself up mentally for that. And I feel like they're necessary and they have to be all planned. And I feel like they almost need to be close because it's like I need to get me together so that when I show up with you alone, I'm giving you the best me so that when we get back together to these kids, we can be the best us. And so I feel like it's all tied in together.
Yeah. Tell me this, are you taking, and I think you maybe hinted towards some of this. Initially, you were saying it's not until well after, reach that point. What are different things that you could implement or that you want to implement on like a weekly basis that help you to know when you're getting closer to needing that break? Does that make sense? Yeah. So what are some different things that you could do or that you could even offer to other people to do, like just on a regular of a basis as possible, so where your body tells you prior to that, I'm needing that break?
I think the biggest thing is just slow down. Like, because once you slow down, so many things become obvious to you or you become aware, you know what I mean? So like you slow down, even if you slow down before a response, then you don't have to go back and fix it. But if you slow down after a response, you have to stop and reflect. Why did I say that?
Yeah.
Why did I come off like that? Why did I just snap like that? And I want to take the time to just slow down in everything I do. Like, stop rushing all the time. Whatever you got to get to, gonna be there, you know. Slow your thoughts down, slow yourself down. And then I would love to be able to, like I said, I got back into the journaling, but I would love to make it almost a daily thing. Right now, it's kind of like a once a week situation.
Yeah.
And even that, though, it's better than nothing. But literally, it's something about writing your thoughts down on paper. It does something. It's like, one, it gets it out and it helps you to clarify what you're trying to really, because up here it's crazy. It's always moving and it's always going. But the moment you put it on paper, it comes together. It's clear. You can see it. I read it back to myself out loud so I can hear my voice saying what my thoughts are thinking.
Yes.
And then after that, it helps make more sense of it. But after that, it's gone. Like, once I get it out, it's off me. And I can do it and do life better. Yeah. And so, yeah.
And you got to be the Strokes of Freedom spokesperson. Okay, I love that. I got to talk to people. Y'all better book these services. I think that's incredible. I think that's super awesome because it is a matter of slowing down and stepping away. I have this idea that I speak to a lot of people about. We're taught to be like super selfless, put everyone else first, all this. But over the past couple of years, I'm like, why can't we choose self more being like capitalized and really deciding that it's fine for me to spend 20 minutes alone. The children are not going to fall apart. The house won't break down. It's okay. But choosing self more helps you to check in with yourself more consistently. And that can limit. It doesn't fully eliminate, but it can limit or decrease the level of blow-ups and all those different things that take place because you've at least carved out intentional time for yourself on a consistent basis. Of course, I'm going to always be a huge advocate for journaling during that time or just resting. Resting and letting your body just really not be in moving mode, but just being able to lay there and really be present with yourself and really tune in. So I think that's awesome. So this is not a question I sent ahead of time, but it's a question I thought about last night. And you all in the comments feel free to answer this. It was around the idea of how do you like purposefully give your child the best parts of you. And where the question came from, I'll share that part. Just thinking about my own family and just thinking about other people that I know. Everyone is going to have those lash out moments, or they're going to, maybe offer an example that it's not a direct example. It's the child watching, what you're doing and how you're operating. But I don't know that we're always mindful of those things of like, oh, if my children see this, am I planting this as a seed in them? And do I want for that to continue producing? And if not, how do I make sure I'm allowing for them to experience the best parts of me versus the not so best parts?
Okay.
So how do you
I think I understand the question.
And if not,
ask the very first question one more time.
Right. It was me because I went on the whole little tangent.
It's okay. It's okay.
How do you how do you give your child the best parts of you? Okay. So how does Stacey give her three daughters the best parts of her?
Okay. So once again, multiple parts. One thing I've tried to start doing, especially as my older two get older, I try to communicate with them more. Like, let's talk about it. Like, I had a conversation today with one of them, and her argument was I yell a lot, and I do. I'm a fusser. But in my defense, like I told her, I only yell when you act like you can't hear me. If I have to say it 3 times, then apparently you just didn't hear me first 2 times.
You don't want to soft and gentle at that point. You want me to get loud.
But I did. We had a whole conversation, and I told her at the end of it, I said, this is no excuse. I said, but the reality is I've never done this before. I said, I've never parented you before.
Yeah.
I said, now 3 of y'all, and every single one of y'all are different. And this last one, I'm still getting to know her because she's very kind of new. And she's different, okay? At least 1 and 2, they were so close in age, I was able to kind of be like, all right, I know what you need. I know you need. This last one is on a whole nother wavelength. And so I tried to explain to them, like, I'm just trying to work with you. I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm trying to take what you give me, and I'm trying to teach you how to be my daughter, but I also need you to teach me how to be your mother. because I've never mothered you before. And so I try to have those talks with them. I hash it out with Justin a lot. You know, we'll have these moments and then we'll come across and be like, hey, yo, so like, was that too hard? Or, you know, how did I do? You know, like, oh, you killed it. You know, we literally in the corner pumping each other up. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that was a little rough, you know, but I think it was a good message. So constant check-ins. I'm checking in with him. I'm checking in with them. And we sit down. I'll be like, how y'all think I'm doing? You know, as a mom, like, am I good? Let me know. And so, and then you got to know your kids too. So when it comes to Genesis, my oldest, she is very much, I don't want to hurt your feelings. So I know with her, she's never going to give me the full 100% truth. She's going to give me what she thinks I want to hear. Now the other child, Charlie, the second one, Charlie's the opposite. She's going to always make sure you improve. She's going to give you the good. She's going to tell you everything wrong and be like, now go and work on it. I'm like, well, dog, am I going up at all? You know? And so trying not only to talk to them and figure out how I'm doing, but trying to teach them how to give feedback at the same time. Like, don't just, y'all ain't helping me if y'all ain't helping me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so trying to do that kind of stuff. And then I was very blessed with having, like I said, 2 sisters myself, growing up with 2 sisters myself. So in a sense, I'm able to do it all over again. And it's so crazy because I'm literally raising me and my sisters all over again. My oldest child is very much like my older sister. Then the middle one, very much like my sister that's above me. And then I think this last one is kind of like me, I think. And
we'll
so
find out.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, I'm still trying to think it out. That's why I'm like, I think we're going to see. But in being able to have just conversations, because I'm very close with my sisters. And so we talk about experiences growing up. We talk about life now and things of that nature. So being able to listen to them and hear what they felt coming up, I'm very mindful to make sure, because child placement is a whole thing in therapy on its own.
Absolutely.
It's a whole theory that you deal with in dealing with, you know, mental health. And so when dealing with child placement, I try to make sure I'm not forgetting the middle child who oftentimes feels forgotten. Or I try to make sure I'm not, girl, they just skip right over them. And it's a real thing. And so I try to make sure I don't put too much pressure on the oldest child and try to make her the little mom.
Yeah, and the responsible one, absolutely.
Yeah, and then this little one needs to understand that she does not run everybody. Although she's running everybody, like, you are not in control, for real.
But she is, though, a little bit.
As you are, you're not in control, like, seriously. Like, and so I'm constantly taking things into consideration, and I know that I'm real about it, and it means a lot to me, because at the end of my day, I literally lay down and think, like, how do I feel about me as a mom today? And I know that sounds so TV, but it's a real thing. Like, I go to bed at night and be like, did I jack them up today? Or did I feel, you know, some kind of good about it? And I will, like, I'll talk, just be like, yo, I kind of killed it. Stole up, you know. But then there's sometimes I'll be like, yo, I didn't send them off right. I didn't send them to school right. Or I didn't send them to bed right. And if it's too off, I will wake them up out there asleep and apologize for something I may have done wrong. Because I ain't going to rest well until I do. So I'm just always just trying to check on me.
Yeah. And checking on you and giving yourself grace. Because like you said, this every day, and I told someone this years ago, a 5-year-old has never been 5 on that day before.
Right.
They
my child told me that. Charlie told me. She did. When she was about to turn 5, she said, how does it feel to be 5 or something? Wow. I said, I don't know. I said, how do you feel? She said, well, I don't know. I ain't never been 5 before. Like, why are you talking to me like this at 4? Y'all see what I'm saying? I got to deal with that kind of stuff. So, yes. Yeah. Sorry, it's a real thing, though.
It is a real thing, and I think it's fine to assess, but it also doesn't mean it has to be compared to someone or something else. It's a matter of going internally to say, you know what, maybe there was a need, you know, for improvement there, or hey, I killed it. Okay, mommy of the year over here, you know.
Mommy of the day, you know what I'm saying, one day at a time.
Give me 365, but okay, if you want the one. But I think it's also to celebrate. I think there's a good balance there where you're you know, assessing and wanting to make sure that you're doing your absolute best, and that you're celebrating the fact that you are showing up every day for your children. And that can look like in different capacities. 2 main things you said that you offered in that I thought was really awesome is that you're not above apologizing to your children. Very profound. A lot of people struggle with that. And, you know, we've seen jokes and stuff on social media about the way a Black mom may apologize. Come on, go with me. Real
Yeah,
quick.
you want something to eat and something like that. Yeah.
Versus it being, you know what, mommy really could have done that a little differently, and I apologize, for raising my voice. I apologize for not listening or whatever the case was. And also, helping your child to find their voice, opening up that door of communication with them to say, hey, how's mommy doing? Like, what different things could I do differently? What are you loving? But also letting them know that their voices are heard and that their voices are powerful and that their voices prompt change of some sort. Because if Charlie give you the feedback, like, nah, mom, that just wasn't it. I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know what you had going on, but that wasn't it. And at that point, she's able to see a change behavior, and that kind of confirms that her voice carries weight with it. Because oftentimes we think of children as less than, and so I love that you're giving them room to have a voice. I think that's incredible. Again,
thank you.
But if you want mommy of the day, I'll give you day. But I'm thinking year. But
I'll take it. Take it.
That's just me. Okay. You're funny. Okay, so we'll jump here. If you could offer a nugget of freedom is what I call, and that you all is just advice, encouragement, something enriching. But if you could offer a nugget of freedom to a single woman desiring marriage or a married woman who's unsure if her marriage is going to work, what would you say to her?
All right. So starting with the single woman, one thing I would say is do your best to get you together during this time. Like, if you know that your desire is marriage, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have it. So don't necessarily put all the energy into that right now. You spend this time getting yourself together for multiple reasons. One being you get the opportunity to make sure to mentally, spiritually, emotionally, you are in tune with who you are and who you want to be. And then 2, it saves time when you get into the relationship. You don't have to take that time trying to figure out who you are or who you want to be so that you could tell him that, just for y'all to end up getting married and then you change because you done had kids. And now you got to teach him that. And then you get older and you've changed again. Like, come with who you want to be in the beginning. Yeah. So I would just say spend this time basically, because we get caught up, on the list and things of that nature. Like, that's fine, make your list, but also what does your list look like? Like, what do you look like being the one on the list? You know what I'm saying? So I would say, yes, have your list of whatever you want him to be, but also write down a list of what you want to look like in a relationship. Yeah. What do you want him to be able to tell his boys and his family when they're introducing you before they meet you? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's this, she's that. Like, do you want him to have to pull them aside and say, all right, listen, she's about to come over, so I need you. You know what I mean? Or can he just show up and be like, here she is, and everybody's excited? Like, you got to think like that. Who do I want to be presented as? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I would say think like that in this time before he comes, okay? Married women, now, unsure of if the marriage will work. Now, that would take conversation because it just depends on the whys behind it. Like, why aren't you sure if it'll work? Is it you? Is it him? If it's you, then how far are you willing to go to make sure this thing works? If it's him, is it you or is it him? You know what I mean? Is it healthy? Is it unhealthy? For as much as I love marriage and for as much as I advocate for it, I am not opposed to people walking out of something that's not healthy, because I'm an even greater advocate for knowing your worth. And like, if you're in something and he ain't seeing you for who you need him to see you as, then somebody's watching you, waiting to be like, can I have a turn? Can I go? Like, don't just get. And so, it would take a conversation to try to figure out what's going on in the marriage. And just being honest about it. Like, for real, is it you? Because one thing, a lot of women that I've talked to that are divorced, after they get through the emotional parts of it and the initial responses of it, they're able to sit back and say, okay, I could have did this different, or I could have did this better. And so try to do try to have those thoughts before you make a move and figure it out. And if you feel like you've done all you can, then it might not work. But if there's more to it, and get some marriage counseling. Oh my goodness. Like, we experienced that recently, and it was life-changing. Yeah. Simple stuff. For as much as you know your spouse, there are just things that just need help communicating. There are things that you might need a mediator involved to help clarify what you're really thinking and trying to say. So I'm all about therapy and things of that nature. So get you some for yourself and get you some for your relationship.
Oh, I love it. Y'all better be out here listening. I think the next question will be, we've hinted on this just a tad bit, but it'll be the define the perfect mother.
Perfect mother. I love
Yeah,
this.
what does she like? What does she do? How does she do? Like all the things.
The perfect mother is the woman who has not yet had children. And
people, honey. Who I'm listening? Go ahead.
I say this because I was the perfect mother before I had kids. I had nieces before, and I say nieces because we're just all girls in my family. It's crazy.
A whole lot of women going on over there.
Yeah, it's literally all girls on my side.
Wow.
Like I have nephews as well that I've married into. But like from my blood, nah, bro, we just got girls. And it's crazy. And so I had all of these nieces and nephews before I had my own child. And I was like, oh, just do this. Just do that. Or if you might want to get them because they, I had all the answers. And then I would pack up my stuff and I would go home. And I would sleep great. And I would get up the next day, send them a little text of what they should do with their kids. And I was the best mother ever. And then I messed around and had my kids. And it was like almost immediately I realized my flaws. Like when I say immediately, because I talk about this, Genesis, my oldest, she was premature. That was my first flaw that I saw at the time. You couldn't even carry this baby full time. How you gonna be perfect? You couldn't even get this baby to at least 30-something weeks, 26 weeks, the best you could do, sis. You couldn't even sit down, and not even knowing what caused it. To this day, still don't know what made her come early.
Wow.
And so immediately you start seeing the flaws in yourself, and it's like, okay, you can't get stuck on it, but it does humble you. Like it makes you be okay. So you understand more why there is not a perfect mother. So that's my answer. The perfect mother is the mother who understands that she has imperfections.
Yeah.
And that there's no perfect mother.
There isn't at all. And I would love, even for the moms in the chat, when did you all realize that there was no such thing as a perfect mother? That would definitely, But it's interesting though that how the mind does play a lot of those tricks. You can't control her coming at 26 weeks.
Right.
Before you told yourself, it's like, oh my God, I'm already messing up. Like I'm a horrible mother. Yeah. And it's like, when you think about it, it's like, that's not even logical. Like it's
not fair.
You're right. It's not fair. It is not fair at all. It's not fair. I mean, in the least bit, but yeah. So I think those are all the questions that I had. Of course, you all can drop any questions you have in our comments and whatnot. And as they're doing that, Casey, tell us what's next. Where can people find you? What are different things that you're currently working on? What does that look like?
All right. So thank you. Yes, I have social media because I was like, what is it? I told you I don't be knowing this stuff. You can find me on social media. You can find me on Facebook at Casey Caesar Tucker. And on Instagram at Casey_C_Tucker. And if you go to either of those in the bio, there is a link tree that I have now. So you can click on that. You can go to the YouTube page, which is called Mom Stuff with Casey. So I have a YouTube page. It has some videos up there that I've done in the past called If I Be Honest, which just talks about some of my own experiences and honest moments that I've had that you may or may not relate to. And we also have some new things coming up soon as well. Me and my husband, Justin, we have posted recently that we're going to start just talking. So we have something called Hey Spouse coming out. And it's just basically some conversations between two married people that don't get to talk until the kids aren't away, and that until they are away. So we're going to talk about that, just kind of have those conversations. And then there's also something I have coming up soon, and I'm going to start talking about it next month. But we're going to do a little something called Momming Through. And with this, I'm excited about it. Momming Through is going to be just some conversations with me and some of the most amazing moms that I know, and talking about their stories. Because the reality is things happen in life. Life happens. It hits us hard. but you have to continue showing up as a mother. And so it's crazy. I was thinking about this concept and thinking about the women in my life, and there are some amazing stories just in who I know. And so I want to just bring them to the platform because I don't have all the experience. I don't know everything. I haven't gone through everything. So I want to be able to bring them to a platform to you all to help y'all just be able to relate where you find yourself or learn where you don't.
I like that there, baby. Okay, that was cute. I like that.
You're stupid. Just dumb. You know what I mean?
Say it again. Find where you find yourself and learn where you don't. Okay, stay in your lane is all I heard. Like, boop, boop, boop. Crystal said, Crystal just wants to baby to her kids, y'all. I'm gonna see Crystal. I'm gonna see. But Crystal, she asked no questions, but this was great. She loved the transparency and the laughter. Real wives, real moms, real talk. Oh, Crystal got a little show in her hands too.
Crystal got something to say. Thank you. Crystal takes care of my kids in church on Sundays, so I appreciate it. I appreciate you publicly, okay?
Honey, and with that, y'all, we just have a couple minutes, but with that, talk about the importance of a community when it comes to being a wife and a mom. I would love for you to just how has it helped your life, honey?
Oh my God. So community with this thing is very essential. And so when we moved to Charlotte 5 years ago, literally came here with nobody. We packed up them 2 kids that we had at the time, threw them in the car, and was like, we're moving. And so that's what we did. So we literally had nobody. So that first year was very important. And it was strategic for us to be able to come together as a unit without family, without friends, or anything. And it was so amazing. And it was really helpful, but it was very lonely. So although we needed it, it was painful. And so luckily it didn't last too long. The next year, my mom moved here. And she saw her baby crying out. I was so homesick. So homesick. And I was waiting for the opportunity. We would have moved back home, but we couldn't afford to. It was that kind of struggle.
Yeah.
We either gonna stay here and get evicted and somebody gonna have to make us come back, or somebody gotta give us the money. We were trying to figure that out. But she came and moved here, and she has been a huge godsend. And I mean, everyday stuff. Like I told her last night, I was like, sis, you've moved here. You're my live-in nanny, unofficial. You're my hairstylist. She keeps my hair. She helps me with that. All them little parts and stuff in there, y'all. My sis did that for me. Okay. And so okay. But she's helpful, and she's always a listening ear. And I am enjoying watching her get to watch her grandchildren. She tries to make herself available, not just for me, but for my sisters as well. She'll hit the road in a heartbeat, all that stuff. So she's amazing. Of course, we have amazing friends that after being here and being quiet for so long, now we have an amazing group of community people that have definitely helped out, joined in. People will come over, watch our kids. I mean, we had a whole baby that we didn't expect to have. And that's who gonna sit with the children while we at the hospital having this baby? So, oh my goodness, the way for friends and friends that have become family, the way they all came together, band together to be at my house overnight and at the crack of dawn in the morning, things of that nature. We're forever grateful for it. So definitely you gotta find people, and like I said, anybody who's helped out, anybody who's taking my kids to the bathroom for me or watch them. Sundays are stressful, you know. He gotta work, I gotta sing, we gotta figure this out. Can anybody take my kids for a few moments, you know? So it is so important. And then to be able to have people that you trust, because I'm that mom. And my kids ain't going with just anybody.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
They're not going with just, like, if I go out of town, like, my family got to come here. Like, ain't no just, they not just staying anywhere. And so I'm that mom. But to even have people that are able to see you as that person and not necessarily judge you too hard, they're going to talk trash, but that's fine. I'll take it. It's whatever. But you're going to show up. And that's what matters, right? You're going to be here, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. And that's it. So, man, it's so important and so appreciated, for sure.
Yeah, we can't do anything alone, y'all. And as I said at the beginning of the show, I am not a wife yet. I don't plan to be nobody's mama, honey. But growing up, I understood the importance of community, from my grandmother to my aunties to my uncles to whomever. And it plays a great role in you being able to gift yourself with that time away, knowing that your children are in safe hands, that they're being taken care of, and that someone is urgent and loving them. So do not be afraid, you all, to tap into your community. You're not less than, you are not weak, you are not unequipped. Like you are fully equipped to be the mother to your specific children. And because I'm a both and type of person, you're fully equipped and you need time away, and that is where your community comes in. You do not have to tell yourself a story about I'm doing this mom thing wrong, because as Casey shared earlier, there is no such thing as a perfect mother. It is simply a mom who knows that she's imperfect and chooses to show up for her children every single day in the best of ways. So allow for yourself to leave this conversation knowing that there are people that you can trust, people that want to support you, and they do not think any less of you, because you're not designed to be a mother 24/7 all the time. It's just not realistic.
Right.
And if you just starting out with mommyhood, honey, give yourself even more grace, because again, you've been a whole entire individual single person before these kids came along. It's new.
That's it.
Give yourself time to think out, honey.
Yeah.
Listen, watch a little replay, Jazz. Somebody said they're gonna watch a little replay. Yeah, watch it, honey. It'll be available as soon as I hit end. You all, send Casey some purple hearts for joining us today and for sharing all of her wisdom and her journey and just your life. I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Honey, of course, listen, don't try to out appreciate.
I'm reciprocating. Can I?
Yeah, but no, you trying to out appreciate.
No, bro, I just wanted to say I appreciate you.
I trying to out appreciate. I barely finished my appreciate, and then you hear okay, cool. Thanks so much. So I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being open, for choosing to accept the invite, and just for sharing. And I think I'm huge on people sharing their story and their journey, because more often than not, someone somewhere can relate, and we never know what seeds we're planting or how we're supporting another person just by truly being yourself. So I've always appreciated how real and how hilarious and how open you are. It tickles me. But, it does. Okay, it's crazy. But I definitely appreciate it. And thank you all. They're dropping their purple hearts for you, showing you some love.
Oh my God.
Listen, honey, Crystal. I might message you, Crystal. We're gonna see. I'm not really taking new clients right now. Amy, we love you too, honey. Yes,
we love you, Ames.
Yes. Awesome. Y'all, that's everything. If you all missed the intro, in terms of just like a little snippet, you are officially tuned into Hey Hunnniii, which is hey. Let me know. I don't know if I got rhythm or not, because nothing playing.
But you heard your music. That's what matters. It looked like you knew something, so it's good. Don't worry about it.
Indeed. But yes, you all. So Hey Hunnniii is a show that I've launched where I'll do these same things, have conversations, and the goal is to create content that people can use, that you leave a conversation knowing that, oh, I can relate to someone else, or, oh, that was a great nugget, let me store that for later. Or in Casey's case, she likes to steal from other moms. I love it, so you can steal some stuff that she offered today.
I do, baby.
All the things. But yeah, the goal is just to have candid conversations, courageous conversations, and just to talk about things that people maybe don't talk about every day. We may sit around and talk about various things with our groups of friends and all of that, but what if you chose to share your story out loud and on purpose, and really just chose to use whatever platforms you have just to share? And so that is what I'm doing with Hey Hunnniii. Hey Hunnniii. And you have to say it like that. So when y'all talk about the show, it's like, have you listened to Hey Hunnniii?
Hey Hunnniii. You wanna get up there?
Hey Hunnniii. I'll give y'all a lesson real quick. But yeah, the hey is a little lower, so it's like, hey Hunnniii.
But what if you got a bass like me? Can I
That's
say
cool.
like,
It can be like, hey Hunnniii.
Hey Hunnniii. Sound like somebody trying to holler. Hey Hunnniii.
Right.
I'm talking.
But yeah, so you all, welcome to Hey Hunnniii. You all will see a quick little intro video once it's uploaded to YouTube. But yeah, so there's different things you all are passionate about that you love talking about. Then let me know, reach out, and we will get our initial conversation going, and we'll figure out where you all fit in, or if you don't.
or we don't. It's whatever.
Oh, girl, I am tickled. Okay, y'all, we're done. Thank you all for tuning into Marriage, Me, and Motherhood. Make sure you watch the replay, and hopefully it's added something to your life, and you are now all the more encouraged to continue being the incredible mother and or the incredible wife that you already are. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
See ya.